Welcome back to the Gossip Minute with J.Belle. I know it's been a minute. I've been taking a break. Had some really big things going on, but we are back. We are here, and I have a new guest. Her name is Dani Wright. She's here to take over the country music game. Hey, hey. And so, so every time I have someone on, this is what they prefer. So you tell me, hey, 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 hey.
Hey,
You like
hey,
that one?
listen, any song gets me going.
Hey, okay, so let's give you a little applause. There we go. Here we go. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. All right, let me stop playing it. Thank you
Why not? It's fun. It's all in fun.
Thank you so much for being a part of this. When Jaleesa hit me up and she was like, would you love to interview Dani Wright? And I was looking over your story. I was looking over everything. And I was like, yeah, a Black woman.
I love the would you love to interview her? She better come on and work.
Right, exactly. I was like, yeah, what are you talking about? She's a Black woman. She's in country music. And I was, like I said, I listened to your single before we started recording. And I was like, oh, yeah, I got to have her. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So
love that.
So let's go ahead and get started. What's the first thing that made you want to dive into music?
Okay, so music in general, I mean, I grew up in church, so I think that was the first thing that made me want to sing. And just being from New Orleans, we're around music 24/8.
Yeah.
So, I mean, 24/8. You wake up in the morning, somebody's just playing the trumpet on the porch kind of thing. So, yeah, I grew up just around music all my life.
Wow. Okay. So now you're the first artist signed to Tisha Campbell's You Go Girl Entertainment. Now, how did that relationship come about? Because it seems so random.
So it's very, I guess, but so Tisha had this lounge in Studio City in LA.
Okay.
And they did like a Friday night performance thing. And so I went there and I kind of performed. And then after I performed, she was like, oh my God, you're amazing. And from that moment, we kind of just, clicked. And we've been friends since then. And then back then I was in a group. We were about to get signed and all this stuff. And then once the group disbanded, I went to her and I was like, well, I've always loved country music. What do you think if I do country music? And she just started jumping up and down like, oh my God, yes, I think this is great. She's like, I'm going to be here to do whatever you need me to do. I love what you're doing. I'm going to support you, and anything you need from me, let me know. And about a couple months later, she just started managing me and we went from there.
Wow. So I was reading your bio, reading your package. And I saw you also worked on Fox's Empire as one of the.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Look, you can correct me.
So I basically write music for all of Fox's shows.
Stop it. So you wrote songs for Star too?
I did like maybe 2 for Star, but we did me and Tisha. So we have with the company, we have like a writing production and all this stuff. So from Empire to any show that's on there to, I mean, we've done movies, we've done different things, but probably everything on Fox.
Everything on Fox. Did you have a part in the drip drop? You know that that's the biggest song that comes out.
The drip drop. Yeah. No, I didn't do that one. We did mostly. That's so funny.
Drop. Drippity drop. Hey, they were showing that on Twitter. I was like, wait.
What's her name? What was the girl's name on there? Tiana's songs. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay.
And then when Tisha was on there in the group.
That was the last season.
That was the last season. I was about to say something crazy last time. Yeah.
I brought up the drip drop because everybody's such a fan. You hear it and it's so like catchy. So like, wait, did you have a part in that? Because that was like.
No, I didn't do that song.
But all of the music on Empire was really, really good. The storylines got hit hard. You know what I'm saying? Like people talk a lot of junk about it, but when you really listen to the music, you had really good music on there. I think
and really good singers too.
Exactly. Yeah. So I'm gonna slide in a little bit and ask this: would you ever go into acting?
I would. Like I'm just like even being with Tisha, she forced me to go to acting classes and stuff like that. So just in case, she's from the old school, so she's like, you need to learn how to do media training. You need to learn how to act. You need to learn how to sing. You need to learn how to do everything. Just do everything. So I don't mind it. It was never like my passion of doing,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't mind doing it. I'm a creative, so anything creative, I'm really open to doing.
So basically, you would be a natural at acting because of the fact that
I don't
you're a
know about a
creator.
natural, but
It always come
I
from
don't think I
somewhere.
would be. Yeah, I don't think I would be far from it.
Okay, I can
Yeah,
understand that. And
yeah.
you know, I'm going to ask you, how is it working with Tisha Campbell on that level? Because, like you said, she's a legend. She's
Yeah,
an icon within the African American Hollywood.
yeah,
You know
yes,
what I'm
for
saying? With
sure, for
Martin
sure.
doing Little Shops of Horror, like people
Yeah,
forget that Tisha has a history. You know,
history.
yes, yes. How is it
um,
working with her?
Working with her is great. It's fun. Martin's still my favorite show, so I'd be like, listen, if you hear or not, I just gotta watch it. I'm sorry. That's just what it is. But it's great, and learning from her every single day as to just how she, deals with the business and the things she has to do within the business or not do, her choices of things. So I just learned a lot daily, even from phone conversations to interviews to just every single thing. It's a learning process, and just the advice alone is amazing. So working with her is fun. It's good. And some days I look over and I'd be like, that's Tisha Campbell, girl. Like,
Right.
you know what I mean? I'm still not over the fact of it, but it's fun though.
Yeah, to have someone that's so huge in the industry,
Yeah.
mentor and take you on and really guide you in her ways. Because, I
Yeah.
mean, things have changed. But when you look at the classic ways of how entertainment should be, like you said, media training and whatnot, I feel like you have a longer shelf life in Hollywood
Yeah.
versus now you do any and
Yeah.
everything. They
Because
cancel you.
everybody's so used to just, like this thing, like, social media and stuff like that. But even, dealing with her, she's from that old school. So she's like, I remember standing on cattle call lines and not knowing how to do something, but watch this on TV and learn. And so, she just makes sure that I'm up and good on everything that I would need to be. So,
I love it. Now,
yeah.
people, Dani Wright is a country artist, like I said earlier. So I want to ask you, there's so few of us in the country music genre. Obviously, at these days, obviously it was different back then. You had Charlie Pride, you got Darius Rucker, which is a huge gap, but still, you have far and few in between. So now it's like it's Breland, who I was just watching on the Terrell show. Yeah, and I had to go back and listen to his song "My Truck," and I was like, he got 45 million views on that video.
Yes, that song is lit. That song is crazy.
I was like, wow. And then, just listening to him sing and whatnot, I was like, he's so freaking talented. And even like Blanco Brown, it's you guys, you're really starting to take over and change a genre that is not necessarily that kind to our community.
Yeah.
Why country music?
Again, and when you name Blanco, and Blanco started, he created trailer trap, so that's his own genre.
Okay.
So when you think of Blanco and Breland, there's a couple other people now too, but we are all country. We're all from the South. We all are country, and I think the difference is it's not a Nashville country. We're just showing people our country.
Okay.
And so I think, for example, as you state, there's not a lot of us. So when you think of us, a lot of us don't listen to country music because there's not a lot of us. So we have to bring everybody in by bridging the gap and bringing the two together. So I think that's what we're all doing right now.
And I enjoy watching that because even with, somebody as huge as Mickey Guyton, who just performed on the Grammys not too long ago and was the first Black female artist to be nominated in the country music category. I definitely want to see more Black women take over because people were in a tizzy when they saw Beyonce on the I think it was the ACMs. I remember that. Yeah. With the well, now they call themselves the Chicks. And
with the Dixie Chicks, yes.
Now they call themselves the Chicks. They took out the Dixie because of the connotation. I want to see more of us out there because, believe it or not, I love country music too.
Yes.
You grow up on certain artists, but you don't see enough of us in there. And so I'm gonna tell you my favorite lyric in your new song PYT, and then we're gonna go more into that.
Okay.
So my favorite lyric in the song is, "I love my country music, but I love my trap shit."
You feel me?
Right? Listen to Shania, but the baby on the list.
Uh-huh.
I heard that and I was like, okay, number one, I feel seen because
Ah,
I'm all that, right? And so I
yes.
listened to Shania when I was growing up, because country music started to cross over to pop. And
Yes.
so that made me dive deeper into country music. So Garth Brooks
Mm-hmm.
came apart, Faith Hill. Those were like the major players at that time. And then, you had Shania Twain. And then you got the baby on the other side. He's from Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm from North
Mm-hmm.
Carolina. So
Oh,
I'm a Southern
nice.
girl too. So like I had the baby
Yeah.
on the list. So I was like, oh, I feel
Yeah.
seen. You feel that lyric and you just like, here we
I
go.
love that. I love that. That's me all day. Like, and Shania was the person that kind of made me want to do country music because her and Mutt Lange, her ex-husband, were the
Right.
first people to do that crossover. And, when you're hearing who's been have, whatever all the songs were,
Right.
she was the first person that made me go, oh, this doesn't really sound too country or anything like that. But now, even when you listen to country, all the new artists, I mean, Brett Young, I mean, Sam Hunt, there's so many people,
Right.
all their stuff is trap.
Yeah, they gone into a little bit more trap hip hop. They're touching those influences
They're
now.
touching all of that, which is amazing. So, I mean, it's better for us. But as I said, I wanted to do this song to basically talk about me, like what I like. I'm from the South. I can cook. I wear grills in my mouth. I wear cowboy hats with Jordans on my feet. Like, I listen to Shania and I listen to the baby, probably right after each other. You know what I mean? So
It's called
that's
balance.
it's called balance. And it's called That's What I Like.
That's true, and that is exactly true. Wait, so let's back up a little bit because you
Yes.
were trying to hit on a note. You was hitting on a note. You started singing, and I wanted to hear more, but I didn't want to disturb you.
Oh,
You was
that's funny.
singing. You was like,
And you know
"Ooh."
what? I just told everybody in this room. So this is my first time coming home for like 2 years because of the Rona, right? I call it the Rona.
Yes.
So my brothers got me so lit last night. I sound like a frog in a garbage can. I'm in New Orleans, and our lit is a total different thing. It's okay. It's okay.
But
But
you
don't
ain't been
worry.
home in 2 years either, so you got to.
I had an amazing time.
I know.
Now I got to get myself together.
So no singing today. We got to let your voice rest. Just talk. No singing.
I'm
okay.
talk, but listen, we'll do a whole thing for you. I promise.
Okay, I got you. We'll hold out then.
Yeah.
Danny's brothers, shame on you. I needed her to sing today. Shame on you. Shame.
That's funny. That's funny.
So we're gonna make it. We're gonna turn a little bit serious for a second here.
Yeah. Right on.
So earlier this year, country artist Morgan Wallen video went viral, saying the N word repeatedly. Obviously, later he apologized for it or whatever, but his album still managed to go number one. Like,
it was number one before that, though. It's so weird because I feel, as a African American, I feel mixed messages about it.
Yeah.
Because our community has a problem with other racists saying the word, but they don't have a problem with us saying the word.
Right.
So to me, and I don't think he used it in a derogatory sense of calling someone something out of their names, but I still don't think he had the right to use it.
Okay.
So I feel a little mixed about that, but even with saying that, I mean, the country world is and was all of that. They're still the gatekeepers. They're still the people that don't want to see Black people. I mean, even women had a hard time in general, not even just Black. So I feel like, I want to say, even, after the whole George Floyd thing, everybody's starting to change and come together and see things a total different way. Because I mean, even as you mentioned, Mickey, she wasn't seen before that.
Right.
She's been signed for about 10 years.
And see, I didn't know. I wouldn't know that.
This is my point. And our community didn't know that.
Right.
So the fact that things are switching around and changing, I love that aspect. I don't like that he did it, but you know what I mean? But I'm sure there's people that use it all day that we don't catch on camera.
He just happened to
You
get
know what I
caught on
mean?
camera. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Definitely.
it's one of those things where, you know, he got caught slipping. And I don't feel any bad feelings or remorse. You know what I mean? I don't think he should have used it, of course.
Right.
But yeah. And he's an amazing artist. His voice is crazy. He's an amazing artist. I don't really know what else to say about that.
No, you're fine. I just wanted to get your insight to it because you are working in country music as a black woman, and just not a woman, but a human being.
Yes,
you're black and you're a human being, and you're in a genre that necessarily doesn't see. They don't like us. Let's just put it like that.
Yep.
Even though they don't like women,
and I feel like it's the older generation, which is why I'm saying all of the new people, all of the younger generations or our generation,
right,
are the ones, when you think of Maren Morris, like anytime she goes to win an award, she's mentioning a black artist.
Right.
When you think of even all the people that changed their name, from the Chicks to Lady A, they're showing the respect as to, we're now being open because we don't have a problem with African Americans. But when you think of the older generation, I feel like they're the ones who had the, you know what I mean, the issues of race and things like that.
Right. So you have artists like Charlie Pride. That's the biggest artist I can think of right now, because he just recently passed away.
Yes.
Kind of had walked for you guys to run.
Yes.
Or at least do like a power walk.
No, he was that for us.
Yeah.
He was the pioneer for African American artists. There's also an artist called Linda Martell. That was a woman that was signed to Plantation Records that people don't really talk about.
Right.
She had one of the #1 records, and then Dolly Parton and other people redid the song. So there were people, but we just weren't. And I didn't know any of this until I literally looked into it. I mean, of course, we all heard of Charlie Pride and Darius Rucker, but and Darius comes from Hootie and the Blowfish.
Right. So he already had a background in music, and so and he kind of just transferred over to country, and
he was accepted, which was amazing.
Right. Which is rare,
Yes,
it's rare and it's scary, but it's like it is happening.
It's happening, and the one thing I would want to just show people, it's like, I don't have a lot of people tagging along with me. I don't have a lot of people rooting me on, but it's like, at the end of the day, are you going to not do something because people don't want to see you do it? You think people wanted to see Charlie Pride be a black country artist?
Probably not. More than likely
exactly.
Not.
Probably not. So it's like, I'm going to do it. Myself, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do what I love. And if you accept it, you accept it. If you don't, you don't. And we're also in the community. I mean, in a time where we're not taking a lot of things that people took before. So
this is true.
I don't know how to say that politely.
Well, I mean, this is as raw as you can get here. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it needs to be bleeped, we can bleep.
No, I'm just saying, we don't just take a lot of stuff that people would have done and just disrespect and certain things. And we're also the generation to just, if we love something, we just do it. And we have social media now. So
yeah, the evolution is being on social media. It's being televised. Televised and on social media at all times. Yes. Okay, so let's hit into your single PYT. I was listening to it, and I'm gonna tell you, the beginning of it threw me off, because I was like, where is the country part coming in? I was like, okay, all right, I'm feeling it. I got the trap beat. I got the and then you hit me with the beat, with the country. I was like, wait a minute, it's definitely different. And like I told you earlier, my favorite lyrics in the whole song. But it's definitely it's a different record than what I've heard in country music, period. Like you said earlier, they're starting to touch more into the trap beat, but nothing like this. So
no, I mean, it goes back to what we said. Like, I love country and I love trap. So I wanted to really do what I felt, what was me. And so it started off trap, and then I'm like, no, but then the hook has to be like, you know, I thought of like Florida Georgia Line, where I don't even know if you know that is, but their music is amazing. So then they'll hit you with them big hooks and stuff like that. So yeah, that song to me is dope. You know, the trap came in first, we came in with the hook. We redid it maybe like 4 times, but when we knew it was the one, it was the one. And it made sense. The marriage made sense of the two sounds.
Yes, and I feel like it touches on the Michael Jackson song PYT with the title.
Yes, with the title. I love it. I mean, that's where everyone thinks, but yeah, I love PYT. And as we were just doing it, we was like, PYT. It was like, oh, you know, one of those things in the studio. But yeah.
And you are definitely a pretty young thing.
Well, thank you kindly.
Tip my hat. If I had a hat, I'd tip my hat to you.
Thank
okay,
you
man?
kindly. I'll take it.
Well, Dani, I appreciate your time and your energy. Let's talk any other upcoming projects where the single.
Well, I mean, we're gonna just keep putting out singles, and then we have a record at the end of the year or beginning. We're figuring it out if it'll be the 4th quarter or 1st quarter, but it's coming soon. But there'll be more records coming out this year.
So then you have something to build up to. So when it's a little bit safer to like kind of go out on the road and do the promo tour, you got some music out there to put.
Yes.
I love it.
Yes.
I love it.
Yeah.
Where can everybody download the new single PYT?
So you can download PYT on any platform, iTunes, Spotify. You got Tidal. If you have what else is it? It's on all platforms. Just Dani Wright PYT. It'll pop up. Just whatever you got.
I love your energy. Give everybody your socials, and then we're gonna close out.
Okay, cool. So Instagram is I am Dani Wright. Everything else is just Dani Wright. YouTube, Dani Wright. Twitter, Dani Wright. Facebook, Dani Wright. So you can just Google that. Straight to the point. We don't gotta cut no corners. Yeah. So that's just Google Dani Wright. I'm sure everything will come up. I don't know. Yeah.
Listen, we're in an age where you gotta say, what's your name? How you doing? What you got going on? Google me.
Google. That's it.
That's all you gotta say.
And if you ain't on Google, you ain't doing nothing.
That is true.
That's what you need to tell them.
Listen, I'm gonna take that. If you ain't on Google, you ain't doing nothing. Don't come to me with that mess. Hey.
At all. You hear me? I'm crazy.
Thank you so much, Dani, for being
on the Thank you so much. This was so fun. This was fun.
Yay. Guys, make sure you're following Dani Wright and download her new single out now, PYT. I'm going to stick them lyrics in the caption on a picture on Instagram just so you know what the hell I'm talking about. Okay? Until next time.
Come on, North Carolina.
Hey, you hear the Southern in me, then you just brought it out of me. Hey. See you later, guys.
Bye. Thank you. Hi, it's Dani Wright here, and I just had a blast on J.Belle show, my North Carolina girl. So if you want to see more, subscribe to I Am J.Belle.